So we'll go with non-violence. So whenever you go with non-violence, we have a person called as Mahatma Gandhi. Not to forget, the Indian Constitution, whenever we go with it, you will understand something about the judiciary of India, that is the Supreme Court, High Court and other district courts. In the entire world, if you go with it, the democratic country, if you have, Indian Constitution is the lengthiest one and it is written constitution. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidhyaashram First State College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students. Now here in the B.C.A, we have a beautiful chapter that is all about India and Indian Constitution. Let's know what exactly in India and Indian Constitution happens. So here when we go with this agenda, the first thing we have is the learning outcome. Why exactly we are supposed to know what India is all about. And in India, the constitution which we talk about, how exactly the constitution is framed. Now when we go with that, you need to remember a person called as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Now in the learning outcome, I'll be teaching you more about the Indian Constitution and how it was drafted. The second we have is a syllabus. Now the syllabus is divided into 3 units. In those 3 units, we have totally 9 chapters. After that, we're gonna go with the units and internal and the exam pattern. See, units usually when we go with the University of Mysore, it is divided into 5 units. But here in the Indian Constitution, we have only 3 units. Those 3 units are divided further and totally we have how many chapters? 9 chapters, right? So we'll go with the outcome, that is the learning outcome. So in learning outcome, what exactly gonna happen? First thing, you will understand about Mother India. Then you'll understand the democracy as well as the democracy of Indian Constitution. The second one, if you go with it, you will understand the fundamental rights, fundamental duties, salient feature and directive principle of state policy. So this is one of the part. The next part, you'll also understand the contribution of the freedom fighters, how the struggle was, how Britishers came and what exactly they have done. You'll also know about the contribution of the then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru ji. And not to forget, the Indian Constitution, whenever we go with it, you will understand something about the judiciary of India, that is the Supreme Court, High Court and other district courts. So these are the things which we're gonna learn. So coming to the next one is the syllabus. Now I told you there will be 3 units. The first unit is background to the study of Indian Constitution. What exactly had happened before the Indian Constitution was framed. So you need to understand the 2 concepts. One is 1947 when we got independence and 1950 when India became republic. So please understand this things. In 1947 we got what? Independence, right? And in 1950 we got republic. So these are the things which you are supposed to know and you should never forget as an Indian. Now in this Unit 1, we have chapters. There are 3 chapters where you are supposed to understand with that. The first chapter here is philosophical and political foundation of India, where you will be learning something about Dharma, Danda. See, we have already learnt about Danda, Dharma, all those kind of things. The same thing we will actually learn here. We'll learn a little bit about the Buddhists, how it went on. In the liberal, we will know about Rajaram Mohan Roy. And then we'll also know Ranjit Goa. Now Ranjit Goa, who is this person? You need to comment in the comment box very fast. You can actually check in your mobile what exactly and who exactly these people are and what exactly they have done. If you understand and then you comment it, we'll be giving you some prizes. That is Ranjit Goa, who exactly this person is. You are supposed to No. Then we'll go with the nationalist perspective, that is Swami Vivekananda and Sri Aurobindo. Now Sri Aurobindo as well as Swami Vivekananda, if you understand, even now there are so many followers who follow these two people. That's why we classify them as what? The nationalist perspective. So this is what you will understand in the chapter 1. Then we have the chapter 2 in the unit 1 itself. That is political values and ideals during freedom struggle. Right? What exactly had happened? So we'll go with non-violence. So whenever you go with non-violence, we have a person called as Mahatma Gandhi. Tolerance is also the same. Again, we have the same person. Satyagraha Swadeshi by Gandhi. Swarajya by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, we will understand. Integral humanism, that is Deen Dayal Upadhyaya, we will learn. And the last one is the voluntarism, that is Vinoba Bhave. So all these great personality, what was their contribution, how we got independence, and how people were the follower of these ideals. Now you will understand about it in this second chapter. The third chapter here, we have a beautiful concept where you will understand about how the freedom struggle was, right? So you will understand two things. One is the political contribution of regional freedom struggle in your region. What exactly happened? So we have Kittur Rani Channamma, who will actually make you people feel that women were also have contributed a lot many things before independence. Their struggle is there. Their scriptures, if you read about it, what exactly the women contribution is. If somebody says in 21st century is men and women both the same, then you can actually show them that even before 21st century, there were people, there were women who actually ruled biggest kingdoms. So one of them is our Kittur Rani Channamma. Then we have Hardikat Manjappa, and then Matkeri peasants, and then the last one is Halgali Bedas. Now these are the people who really have done. There are so many other people also, but in our syllabus they have restricted to only 4, so we'll only go with these 4. Next we have is, so this is what the first unit was. Now we have the second unit. In the second unit we have constitutional development and its philosophy. So it's all about the more of development, what really made the entire constitution look so beautiful. And let me tell you here, in the entire world, if you go with it, the democratic country, if you have, Indian constitution is the lengthiest one, and it is written constitution. So here we will understand about the constitutional development and its philosophy. So when we go with this philosophy, there are some eras which I really want to specify because the syllabus wants you to know these eras. The reason I'll tell you why. In the chapter 4, we have historical background of constitutional development in India and the development between what? 1857 to 1952. Why they have actually given 1857? Let me just tell you here. 1857 was the first freedom war, is what you can say, freedom fight, which you can actually say that 1857 it happened, and it goes like this. 1857 we had the first fight, and then 1952 we got our first election, right? So please understand, that is the reason the syllabus wants you to understand about 1857 to 1952, because the election happened 1952 onwards, the first election. So here we have composition and debates of Constituent Assembly, working of committees. Now committees were also drafted, and then the committees were formed, and the rules and regulation of the committee were also given. Next we have is the chapter 5, where we will understand about the philosophy. Now what exactly the philosophy here is? The philosophy and feature of Indian Constitution, that is the first. You have preamble, salient feature, constitutionalism, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and Nehru's contribution in the making of the Constitution. So all these you will learn in the 5th chapter. Next we have the chapter 6, that is working of Constitution. Now in the working of Constitution, we will understand about our fundamental rights, our fundamental duties, as well as we will learn something more which is very interesting for you, that is the union and the state relationship. So what here happens is, the union, when I say it is union territory, and the states, that is the interstate relationship. This is the article 263. Never forget article 263. That will tell you about how the disputes and other things are settled in the union and the state, that is interstate. So next here, when we go with that, we have important amendments to the constitution, then parliamentary committees. Now see here, in the previous we have the drafting of committees. Now we have what? Parliamentary committees. And the last unit, that is the unit 3. See, we went with unit 1, unit 2. Now we have in the unit 3, that is all about citizens' role. Now, what exactly we are supposed to do so that our country should be a developed nation? That is what we are supposed to go with. Now, in this unit, we have the following chapters. When we go with these chapters, please understand the chapters 7, 8, and 9 belongs to the unit 3. So here in the chapter 7, we will learn something about Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. It is also called as the upper house and the lower house. The executive composition and powers, that is how many people are there in Rajya Sabha, how many people are there in Lok Sabha, what exactly is the salary, the terms, the way of election, everything we're going to learn here. The composition of the seat, Lok Sabha, how many seats are there, Rajya Sabha, how many seats are there, who is the speaker, who is the chairperson, who will appoint the speaker, who can actually impeach the speaker. All this we will learn in this chapter itself. Then we'll move on with the judiciary, that is the High Court, Supreme Court and other courts. Next is Comptroller and Auditor General. We will actually understand Interstate Council and the Election Commission. See, this is a very important topic called as Election Commission. How Election Commission was started, what exactly happened, and even now in the 21st century, see 2024, we're gonna have the election. So this election commission is very, very important, and they are statutory body. They are not under any control of any other state government or central government. They are statutory. Next we have chapter 8 is role and responsibility of citizens under Indian Constitution. So we have something called citizenship. Then we will understand something about Citizenship Amendment Act, that is called CAA. Here you will understand what exactly CAA went with, what was the thing, why people protested, why people supported. All you will understand here in CAA. Then we have fundamental duties. So here in fundamental duties, we will be learning 11 fundamental duties which is there in our constitution, and it is mandatory for all the Indians to know the duties. If you know the duties, I'll tell you here, to survive in India, it's very easy, and our nation, which is a fast developing nation, will also be a developed nation if we understand the obligation and the duties which we are supposed to follow with. So the next topic we have is Right to Information Act. We call it as RTI, Right to Information. Now you will understand something more about RTI. You will also come across a person called as Anna Hazare, Arvind Kejriwal. You have so many people who contributed too many things about RTI, and then they went with it. And the last one is civil society. Now here you will understand something more about what really happens in the central government as well as the state government. And the last unit, if you go with it, right? Now this unit 3 and chapter 9, I always tell my students to concentrate for this chapter because there is something which is only for you. That is the last one, the role of teachers and students in national building, because it is a sure question in your examination and you are supposed to know about this. That's the reason unit 3 chapter 9 is very, very important, and you need to understand what is your role as a student, as a citizen of India in the nation building. So that is what you are supposed to know. So here, concept of national development, then unity and integrity of the nation, goals of education policy, all those are very easy. But here if you know the role of teacher, that is what is my role in the nation building, what is your role in the nation building, that is when the entire Indian constitution, whatever we have studied, will be very good. So these are the syllabus. Next we'll go with the internals. It has 30 marks totally. There are 3 units. So first unit I'll be giving in the internal 1, Unit 2 is in the internal 2, and then Unit 3 in the internal 3, and the average will be taken, and that is how we will actually give you the 30 marks. That is totally the internal marks is 40, but only for the test we give it for 30, and the next 10 marks is for your assignment, skill development, Viva and the OC. That is how we'll go with it. Next is the external, that is a question paper pattern. How the pattern is there, I'll just tell you. Many of you get confused, but let me tell you, India and Indian Constitution is not like your other core subjects. So here part A, we have 10 marks. That is, you will be getting MCQs. When you get this MCQs, what happens is you will be getting 10 questions, and each question is a 1 marker. So you will get 1 into 10 is equal to 10. Part B is all about 5 marks, and you are supposed to write 5 questions. So it is 5 5s are 25. Here you will be getting somewhere around 7 questions. In that 7 questions, you should write 5. So that is part B. Part C, if you go, you will have something called 1 question of 10 marks. There they will give you 2 questions. You are supposed to write only 1. And the last one is part D, where you have 15 into 1 is equal to 15. You will be getting 2 questions. You are supposed to write only 1. The total, it is 60 marks. This is how the part A, B, C, D is being allotted for all of you. So 1 mark 10 questions, 5 mark 5 questions, 10 mark 1 question, and 15 mark 1 question is how you are supposed to go with it. So if you keep on subscribing to the Vidhyaashram channel, all these subjects teacher will actually give you the important questions of the examination, which will be held in the December and January. Please subscribe and like the channel, and whenever you feel the videos are good, please do forward it to all your friends. So the books for reference, we have 4 books: Constitution of India, India and Indian Constitution, Democratic India, and Indian Democracy. So all these 4 or 5 books, if you refer it, right, you can actually score 60 on 60. But if you watch Abhilash's video, you will be having that confidence, and you will also get 100 on 100. So this is what it is. Thank you so much. Any doubt you have, please do call us. We are always there to help you. Thank you so much. Bye.